Don't indicate when entering the roundabout if you intend to proceed straight through. In this situation, indicate left as soon as you pass the first exit. The best guide for learner drivers is to use the left exit indicator when you finish turning the steering wheel to the right. Be accurate with timing. That way your indicator is not going to switch itself off, which is one of the few things that confuses inexperienced drivers. When turning right at the roundabout, you must indicate right before you enter and leave it on until you pass the last exit you're not taking. In this situation, the first exit. Never indicate left prematurely to exit roundabout because you will potentially mislead a driver coming from the opposite direction. In this position, it's safe to indicate left and courteous to inform other road users of our intentions. Unlike traffic lights, roundabouts allow for a continuous flow of traffic. If you're an overseas license holder aiming to get an Australian driver's license, or if you are visiting Australia, stay tuned until the end of this video for valuable insights on navigating Australian roads. If you're a learner driver preparing for your driving test, you will surely benefit from this content, so stick around. Welcome to Western Australia, home to some of the world's most well-planned and efficiently managed roads. One standout feature of our road system is the widespread use of roundabouts as a preferred traffic management solution. This design helps reduce congestion and minimize the chance of accidents. Navigating roundabouts can be particularly puzzling for learner drivers. As you approach a roundabout, you must anticipate the oncoming traffic thoroughly and always give way to the right-hand side. Before you enter, you should be in the correct lane for your intended exit. Roundabouts demand constant assessment of other vehicles within proximity of the intersection. The continuous traffic flow within roundabouts increasingly contributes to the confusion when approaching. This dynamic environment requires quick and accurate decision-making, which can overwhelm anyone who cannot perform or needs more understanding. On that note, I'm glad you're watching this video. Please share it with anyone who needs help with roundabouts. Whether you are a novice driver, tourist, or an overseas license holder, early anticipation and situational awareness are the major factors in dealing with these different types of roundabouts in Australia. When going straight, you don't need to signal as you approach. However, once you pass the first exit, the signal left shows you are leaving the roundabout, informing road users who approach from the opposite direction they can proceed without pause. By the way, when you're changing lanes, don't cross to the next lane too sharply. If you're doing 60 kilometers an hour, take about 60 meters to blend across. Good signaling habits will make you a more predictable driver. Here is an example. If you're turning right, you've got to indicate right prior to getting to the roundabout to inform other drivers what your intentions are. Keep blinking until you finish turning to the right. If you indicate left prematurely to exit, you will potentially mislead somebody. If you indicate on time, you will allow other traffic to flow without having to wait for you. Now that I've finished turning right, I can indicate left, allowing the driver from the opposite direction to proceed because it was obvious that I was exiting this roundabout. In some situations, you will have to cancel your left exit indicator if there is a street coming up on the left, because as much as your indicators are communicating with other road users, they can also miscommunicate your intention. If I left my indicator on, the driver on the left side would potentially assume that I was turning left. Similarly, if I indicated too early to turn left at the roundabout, if my indicator was blinking before I reached the roundabout or before I passed the last street that I wasn't turning on, I could still mislead a driver on the left side. How to indicate correctly in extended roundabouts in Australia. Don't indicate too soon because you might mislead somebody that's coming from the left-hand side. Let's imagine we can divide the big circle into two perfect circles. Disregard the first circle and treat the second circle as a normal roundabout. Of course, you would give way before you enter the roundabout. Only indicate when you pass the first exit, ensuring that you don't mislead the driver who's coming from your left. Understanding the purpose of these roundabouts will make it easy to avoid indicating incorrectly and losing a significant amount of points for signaling in your driving test. How to exit correctly. If I indicate here, it would be wrong because anyone entering the roundabout from my left will assume that I'm turning left and exiting. The best guide to when to indicate is as soon as you finish turning towards the round. That way you will inform drivers from the opposite direction that you are not proceeding in their direction. Keep in mind that every driving choice results from your visual observations. Now that you know this, watch the video on 3 types of Australian roundabouts, when it's safe to proceed and why.